want to show you how I get my giant hooded katydids out of the enclosure. Usually I let them come to me. I just find it far easier. I let them crawl onto my hand, and then what I'll do, I'll slowly move them into the place where I want to be. The only problem I find is it can take a long time, and so for me I just prefer to use gloves. Also, I'm a really shaky person, and I think the katydids can sense that because they tend to nibble my hand every single time I try and handle them. I'll get another katydid out and I'm going to feed them some fruit later on in the video. When it comes to cleaning the katydid enclosures, I tend to leave the katydids in and I just clean around them. That way I'm not disturbing them all the time. But because I've got the door open, most of them tend to just walk out and walk around the top of the enclosure anyway. Adults can grow up to about 15 centimetres, which is about 6 inches in length, making them one of the largest katydid species. I love how much they resemble a leaf, and this is perfect for the camouflage. As his name suggests, Giant Hooded Katydid, his thorax looks like a giant hood, almost looking like a shield covering its back. That'll help him camouflage, and I think it acts as a defensive mechanism towards predators as well. Now let's feed them some fruit. I've got them some blackberries, apples and some pears for today's treat. I feed them a variety of fruits such as strawberries, apples, pears, blackberries, raspberries, blueberries, mangoes. I feed them cucumbers too. I've tried them with carrots, although they've never tried eating them. I've also got some blackberries that the kids went out and hand-picked, so these are going to be ideal for them, and they're free. To clean them, I just soaked them in water for a couple of hours, and the katydids absolutely love them. I'm using these 3D printed bowls which were made for me, and what I'll do, I'll show you a close-up later on in the video, and I'll put a link to the shop in my description. Giant Hooded Katydid is primarily a leaf eater. I like to give them a variety of leaves. Some of the favourites are bramble, oak, hawthorn, rose and hazel. If you're unsure of what leaf is what, make sure you download a plant identification app and that'll help you. Once I've collected it all, I'll put it in the bath. I tend to fill the bath up and leave it to soak for a few hours. Because the katydids like a high humidity level and I've been struggling to keep that up, what I've done is bought a cheap humidifier on eBay, and I find that if I do this every morning, every night, it tends to help out a lot. I know you can get the ones that stay inside of the enclosure, but this one's fine. We're only £20, it does the job. I've also added some more cocoa matting at the side of the enclosure as well, and that seems to help keep the humidity levels up. I use these little monitors to keep an eye on the humidity levels. They usually like it around 80%. The humidifier has been one of the best things I've bought. The Giant Hooded Katydids absolutely love these, as you can see. Living his best life right now. I ordered these 3D printed bowls, perfect for feeding my katydids. A lovely business called Luna Exotics made these, and as you can see, they've put my name around the outside as well, which I think is a really personalised touch. Got 4 altogether, 2 rectangle, 2 circle in different colours, and I just love them. I clean them, I just soak them in Milton for a few hours and they're good to go. I don't always get the katydids out to feed them fruit. I will just put some fresh fruit into the enclosure every couple of days. I love just watching these katydids, and when they're eating, I find it so fascinating. Who'd have thought I'd be sat on my bed with a giant hooded katydid watching them eat a blackberry, eh? I spent years being terrified of any bugs, insects, anything that flew, and now I raise them. I find it really intriguing how you can go from one extreme to the other. I was looking how long they live, and it says they can live just over a year old, or sometimes up to 2 years depending on the level of care that's given. Now these katydids are 7-month-old now, so I've got a few months with them at least. The females have started laying eggs, so I'm hoping some of them hatch and then I get the chance to raise them again. To determine the difference between male and female, it's quite easy. If you look closely, this one's a male. Males can sometimes be a little bit smaller too. And this one's a female, so they look very different. It's pretty obvious to tell. I also want to say a massive thank you to everybody who supports my channel and who follows, comments, likes and things like that. It means the world to us. The insects are obviously a massive part of it. We've managed to hit over 100,000 subscribers now, and it just means that the hobby that I enjoy absolutely so much and that's helped my mental health throughout these years, I'm able to share with you as well.